everybody, this is Johns Hopkins with Baltimore Heritage, and we're back with another of our 5-minute Histories videos. And today I'm at the intersection of North Avenue and Harford Road, and behind me is a building called the Eastside District Courthouse. Before that, we called it Sears and Roebuck. Before that, the Samuel Reddy School for Girls. And before that, the Belmont estate. And even before that, the estate of a French secret agent during the Revolutionary War with a name, and get this, Charles Francois Adrien La Palmier Le Chevalier d'Enemois. How about that? But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Let's start with a word about who is going to join me in just a second. Her name is Nadia Green Noel. She is just finishing up 6th grade, and she pitched to me the idea of doing a video on this building at lunch one day. And when you meet her, you will see why the only answer was clearly yes. But before I turn it over to Nadia, let me just say a word about what's gone on here. Starting back in 1782, that's when our friend Charles Francois owned the property. He was the French consul here in Baltimore. But before that, during the Revolutionary War, he was a secret agent for France. France did tell George Washington he was coming, so it wasn't a total secret. But his job was to basically follow the young Congress around and determine whether this ongoing revolution had any real chance of success. He wrote back to France saying, yeah, he thought it did have a chance, and his correspondence was one of the things that helped France decide to join the war as one of our allies. So we can thank him for the strong French-U.S. relations today, at least in little part. One other interesting thing he did here was when he owned it, he had an obelisk erected in honor of Christopher Columbus, reportedly the first monument to Christopher Columbus in America. It got moved up Harford Road to Harford and Walther Boulevard. It's there today, but it got its start here at Harford and North Avenue. After him, there were a number of families who owned it, including a family that some historians will know, the Barnum family. We know that name from Barnum's City Hotel downtown, hosting the rich and famous, including President John Quincy Adams and Andrew Johnson. And it was under the Barnums that the place got the name Belmont. But the Barnum family in the 1880s sold it to the Samuel Reddy School for Girls. I'm going to skip that chapter because we're going to let Nadia talk about that in just a second. But after the School for Girls left in 1937, they sold all 16 acres to Sears and Roebuck. And Sears and Roebuck built an enormous complex here at the cost of $1 million. It was made of modeled concrete, think early brutalism, and certainly the signature element was a window 40 feet by 40 feet by 27 feet deep, reportedly the largest display window in the world. It was doing very well, pretty successful, until Sears and Roebuck decided that their business model would be focused solely on suburban shopping malls. And in the 1980s, they closed down this store. They said that it was, quote, functionally inefficient. City Councilwoman Mary Pat Clark thought otherwise. She said it was, quote, a disinvestment in the city, pure and simple. The building sat vacant for a number of years, but in the 1980s, the chief judge for the District Court of Maryland, Robert Sweeney, saw an opportunity. He was reorganizing the district courts here in Baltimore and saw this building as a chance to have an Eastside courthouse. So he's turned it into the courthouse that it is today, with offices in the lower levels and then judges' chambers and courtrooms on the upper levels. And that's what's going on here behind me. But I'm going to stop talking and turn it over to Nadia to tell us a little bit about the Samuel Reddy School for Girls. Nadia, we are all yours.
Hi, my name is Nadia Green-Noel, and today I will be talking about the Samuel Reddy School for Girls. Samuel Reddy was a Baltimore philanthropist born in 1789. Samuel Reddy always had a dream to create a school for female orphans that would possibly help them live life one day. In 1887, the school was built, but sadly, in 1871, Samuel Reddy had passed away, so his family members were able to construct the school. In the school, there was a total of 12 girls, 5 from Baltimore, 3 from Chile, and 4 from Mount Airy. The girls shared one room from the ages of 6 to 15. There was one large classroom that was split in two to add more space, and the girls had much space to play. In 1937, the school was closed, but created a new building in Baltimore National Turnpike. In that new building, there were many different things that would help them, but instead of being a school, they would offer scholarships. These scholarships help people get into schools and go to college. Thank you.